Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm gonna be coloring while I talk to you about a topic that I'm not too excited to discuss. I had to change your orientation because I'm used to coloring like this and I don't want you to be that close to my face. We're not that close yet, okay? I'm also watching CID because it's what I do. I watch CID and make YouTube videos. This is my life now and I'm very happy with it. But let's get to the point. Let's get to why I'm guessing half of you have clicked on this video. This is a video where I discuss why I dropped out of DU. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, DU is Delhi University. It is one of the best universities in India and it is a fantastic university to be able to get into. I'm going to be splitting this video into mostly like my background, then getting into DU and the process, and then lastly why I dropped out. So I graduated from an ICSE school, ISC school. I graduated with relatively good marks and I was pretty proud of my marks and I was happy with my result. Studying abroad wasn't my first option for my undergrad, so I decided that I would study in India. So I applied to the colleges that I would personally like to go to in India. I applied to Bombay, I applied to Delhi, Pune, and I also applied to Ahmedabad. I got into every place that I applied to, not to brag. The only place that I didn't get into was my dream college, which was in Bombay. Also, if I'm sniffling and I sound weird, it's because I have a cold, okay? It's fine. It's change of season, it happens. Not like she'll put on a jacket after that either way, right? Because she still has to sit in like half sleeves. No, jacket nahi pehnungi main. Stubborn little me was like, you know what? If I'm not gonna go there, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna take a gap year. Because I was like, DU is a really long shot, especially with the oncome of the CUET, which basically, for those of you who don't know, is a centralized university entrance test. And it basically means that no matter how much you score on your 12th board, your admission into certain universities in India is going to be purely based off of how much you score in the centralized test, which is very similar to the SAT abroad. I, an ICSE kid or an ISC kid, would have to finish my boards and study this completely new syllabus of a completely different board that I have never studied before in my life, pick up a new way of learning, a new way of writing an exam, a new curriculum, and go and give objective exams for all the subjects that I had in 12th grade again. So I was basically redoing my boards, but in a board that I have never given before, never studied before in. It was a completely new thing. And then also I was so hell-bent on going to Bombay that I decided to also not study for the CUET, which was again my mistake. So my opinions on the CUET are very simple. If you want to make a centralized test for children across the country to bring out an even platform, that test needs to be derived from different boards. You cannot have a test that is still biased towards a particular board. And as I see it, children from CBSE are also not enjoying the new test as well, because for children who've just graduated 12th grade, the last thing you want to do is go and give an exam in all of your subjects again just because you want to get into a particular university. That is a lot of stress for children. I gave the CUET exams and now comes the getting into DU part. I did not score very well on the CUET. I scored considerably below what I scored in my board, considering that the subjects were the same and the syllabus was so-called the same. So I was of course very disappointed, but I wasn't disappointed to the point where it was like, it's fine if I don't get in because I don't want to go to DU at the end of the day. And then I didn't get into my dream college. So I rejected every college that accepted me because I really wanted to go to this one college. And that was releasing its results much later. So I basically rejected every college just because I was waiting for this one college that I didn't even get into. I decided that staying in Delhi and waiting for DU was the right decision after a lot of crying. So I decided that I'm going to stay in Delhi. And then the DU results came out. First list, nowhere. Second list, nowhere. Third list, nowhere. Spot round 1, I got in. But I got into a college for a course that I didn't want. While migrating colleges in DU is not difficult and is done fairly often, changing your course in DU is a very difficult process and is almost never done. As disappointing as that was, I knew in my gut that psychology is what I wanted to study, and doing a subject that was not the right path for me. I wanted to study a subject that I truly loved and that I was so passionate about, and not study a subject that, I couldn't possibly see being used in the future. To me, that is a waste of 3 to 4 years of my life, because I'm not passionate about something, I won't do it. Something you need to know about me is that if I'm not 100% invested and convinced about something, I will never do it. I don't do anything with half a heart. I do everything with my full heart and soul. I rejected that college, and then I waited. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and then last round, my name came in another college. And in that college, I got another course that I didn't want. This college application process has been one of the most humbling ones for me in my life. I went to this college for a day and I immediately knew that it's not what I wanted to do. And the next day I opened my laptop and I told my mom and I said, "Is it okay if I drop out?" And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I'm not passionate about this. It doesn't make me happy. It's not what I want to do." And her only response was, "If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it." And I think that kind of respect, that kind of love, that kind of understanding, just that kind of pure trust that your parent puts in you makes a world of a difference. Because at the end of the day, I would have broken down immediately if I wouldn't have had my mother by my side, who basically stood by me, held my hand through it, consoled me through the 50 breakdowns I had, all because a system decided to be changed by people who aren't even applying to that college, by people who graduated years ago, by people who will not be affected by the system. That is the difference. That is the education policies that we have here. That is the problem with education, in not only in our country but all over the world, that people who are making decisions about education are not the ones who are having to bear the brunt of it. The amount of stress it puts on students' mental health is some of the worst mental health in the world. I think arguably the worst mental health in the world. You have these students, these little kids of like ages 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, who've just started seeing life, who've just started living life, who are now having to sit for hour-long exams just because someone higher up decided that they wanted to change things around. Where is the justice in that? So, I dropped out. And I sat with my mom, and after a lot of contemplation, we realized that I did apply for SOL. So SOL, for those of you who don't know, is DU's School of Open Learning, which is basically where you get a correspondence degree from. It is an open school. So that means that classes are conducted only on the weekends, and there is no concept of attendance. There is no regular college. None of that applies there. It is purely just exams and classes. I got into SOL, and I got in for the subject that I wanted. I got a BA Honours in Psychology, and I have been at it since then. We have classes every Saturday, Sunday. Saturday we have classes online, and Sunday we have classes offline. I haven't been to a single classes yet. All the classes are aired online on YouTube anyway. They all go live. And by the way, they have more likes and subscribers than I do, which is kind of hurtful, but okay. I mean, education, fine. So I have exams now and I'm studying, and it's weird because it's all self-study. I have to understand all the material by myself, because even though the teachers are incredible and they're so nice and they're so kind, and they will literally reply to every doubt you have, and they treat you like regular students, and there's no difference and no differentiation happening there. They also can't cover as much syllabus as they do in Monday to Friday classes in regular college. With the amount of time that they're given, they're really putting in the extra effort also to make it, to help the students cope with it better. In school, it was, easy. It was easy to score in. And now I'm sitting here with like Shuddh Hindi, and I'm like, I don't understand you. I don't know what you're saying, because no one speaks that Shuddh Hindi every day. Like I can speak everyday Hindi. I can't speak like Kabir ke dohe wala Hindi. Come on, man. This is like my first clickbait video. I think you were hoping for something slightly more juicy and more scandalous. But I dropped out of DU because the system sucks, but you deal with it because you have to deal with it. And a degree is a degree at the end of the day. But I think what's more important than that is experience, people skills, human skills. That's so much more important. I loved my school. My school experience was incredible. I had the best time at school. I looked forward to going there every day. I made the best friends. I had the best batch and the best people by my side, the best teachers. Everything was the best about my school. I don't think I could have learned half of what I've learned working in the past 3 months while I was in school, or I don't think I even have, to be very honest, because working has taught me what the real world is like. Going to DU for 2 days taught me that there is a world out there and there are people out there who have real problems, and the world is not full of upper middle class children who are complaining to their parents because they didn't get to take their Thar out for a drive the day they got their license. I just have a greater found respect for life, and I'm more grateful than I used to be, you know. DU's fees for an entire year is less than what I've spent one time shopping in America. Like, that is the difference, right? We don't realize how privileged we are. First day I went to DU, I felt uncomfortable. I felt as though I didn't fit in, and I never knew what that felt like. And that feeling, call me crazy, call me, you know, pretentious, that feeling was extraordinary because it made me feel like, God, you really just live on a high horse your entire life. Come down from it. See the world. This is not what the world is only about. It's not only designer bags and shoes and partying on the weekend. It is so much more than that. Everyone has come from different parts of India to be in this college. Their parents are working hard. They are excited to go and study. And here we are taking our education for granted every single day of the year. I'm not a huge fan of the education system, but I am a huge fan of the students. I think students are so cool. इतनी तो मैंने बात कर ली है कि मैंने coloring वैसे कुछ खास करी है नहीं. I'm a very slow colorer. तो मैंने कुछ खास coloring करी है नहीं. I hope you enjoyed listening to my Ram Katha. It was super fun. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Please कर दो यार subscribe. क्या जा रहा है तुम्हारा? एक ही तो बटन है. Notification मत on करो. मत on करो. नहीं करना मत on करो. I know notifications can be irritating, but just subscribe यार. It helps me. ऐसे कुछ तो लग रहा चाहिए, ऐसे मेरे को लगना चाहिए ना मेरी लाइफ में कि मैं कुछ तो अचीव कर रही हूँ. तो सब्सक्राइब कर दो. तुम्हारा क्या जा रहा है मेरे को बताओ. नहीं बताओ मेरे को. So subscribe. And I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. Just have good time, man. Okay? Bye.